Let me just switch to Balotelli, who not for the first time has been caught either letting off fireworks in his bathroom or coming out of strip clubs when he shouldn't be in the early hours of a Friday morning before a game. It's almost like he doesn't mind about the fine because that's him. He'll do what he likes. He doesn't really care about the discipline because he knows the fans love him.
When Balotelli retires, he'll be able to start up a very, very successful business organising people's stag parties. Because he's just, you know, why always him? He's just... The only thing is that you hear about him going out. I mean, all the people you talk to, I don't think he's a drinker. No. I mean, when you look at him, he always looks incredibly fit. And obviously Mancini was upset and he shouldn't have been out the night before if he was, and it was unprofessional. But Mancini had a little niggle at him, and he said, well, he could have got sort of 3 or 4 goals. But I saw Balotelli running hard around that pitch. I like him in that role.
Desperate to score.
Desperate to score. I mean, that little bit of magic from Johnson to create the goal. But the thing is that Mancini has always given him, you know, a little bit of space off the pitch. Yeah. And he's allowed, you know, whereas Bellamy, he would always be sort of, you know, critical of. You know, Balotelli sort of got away with it.
What was the other one we had? Didn't he go out for a pizza
in Naples,
the night of a game or something?
But it's the old question, do you treat every player the same? If you sign a player like Balotelli, you absolutely know you can't treat him the same. The question is, can you persuade all the other players in your squad that this has to be allowed?
He's quite popular, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Again, just going back to talking to Ferdinand last week, he was talking about Paolo Di Canio and how Harry Redknapp treated Paolo Di Canio differently at West Ham to everybody else because he knew the type of character he was, and almost that the rest of the team accepted that it was a little bit different with Di Canio because he was such a good player and was only really capable of doing the great things that he did if he'd been given the licence to be... Now, you might say for the rest of the squad that they get a bit bitter about it and a bit annoyed, but unfortunately, you know, you can go to the George Best scenario if you like. You had to allow him the leeway, otherwise you don't get the same player.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, who is Balotelli harming? You know, if there's any victim in all this...
Is he harming his manager with lack of discipline or not?
Well, if he then goes out and
you know,
scores...
This is your deadline.
But
I do agree with Mancini's argument that if he'd gone to bed earlier, you know, there would be no doubt that he might have got those, you know, those other chances.
But it's interesting thing is, look at the difference in terms of the treatment of Balotelli and the other fellow who's been the star of the season at City. Yeah. Which is Tevez, whereas when one, Mancini had had enough. And he decided, right, that's it, bang. With Balotelli, admittedly, his protégé, he gives him that much more leeway and latitude, probably because he thinks he can give something different.
What was it that but Tevez is actually saying, virtually, I don't want to warm up or whatever. I mean, he was pushing the boundaries in a way that, you know, Balotelli almost says, yeah, I'm going to go out to a nightclub till 2:45 in the morning. It's going to cost me 250 grand to go to a nightclub, and I know that. It's almost...
Money well spent.
I want to go out, so... Hey-ho, it cost me $250,000. That's almost the attitude,
the thing that Balotelli has got to realise is that there are very few managers at top clubs who would give him that sort of
Would he do it with Fergie? No, he wouldn't.
No chance.
No. So how's he getting away with it?
Because they're top of the league.
They're top of the league,
and he's playing well. Of this relationship.
But Mancini's not playing well. He wouldn't do it with Fergie.
Yeah, but it's a different character, isn't it? Mancini's obviously is a sort of fair... I think Mancini does, as you were saying there, different strokes for different folks, isn't it? As simple as that. He believes that certain players can be handled in a different way.
He'll be in the office tomorrow. He said, I'm fine, you 250 grand.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Take it.
There you are. And that is Mancini's being the disciplinarian, and Balotelli's accepting that that's what happens. And he's going to continue to
go and score on Saturday.
Go and score a few goals. But the moment his form drops off or he's not playing well, then he'd get absolutely hammered.
Yeah, and the players then would react as well, wouldn't it? That was one of the quotes of the season, wasn't it? When after the firework display in the bathroom, the police said to him, "Why have you got so much money in your pocket?" And he said, "Because I'm rich." Yeah. And that sums it up, probably, doesn't it? OK, let's switch to the bottom of the Premier League. Who's going to go down? And at Wigan, Roberto Martinez.